The accumulation of negative memories can affect anyone, any marriage, any family. And that's why we must be intentional about creating pleasant memories. What's the state of things in your marriage? This is why sometimes you see some couples who avoid spending time with each other. They do not enjoy each other's company. Okay, because when they are together, what they have would be silent treatment, hurt, bickering. That's not a healthy state. That's not what we want to exemplify to our children. Hey, we know it's Christmas, but we've come your way with something really interesting. What you can do, steps you can take, practical steps you can take to create pleasant memories. I am Chidi Akunna.
And I am Victor Akunna.
Thank you for joining us. In case you're new to our channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. At Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is to connect hearts and raise healthy families. And we would like to say thank you to all our returning subscribers as well. Hey, you stuck with us till the end of the year. We're almost there. We've come to you. We know it's Christmas, but there is so much you can benefit from this video.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're putting it forward. You want to say something?
Yeah, so creating memory is so critical because every day, every moment, you are creating memories.
That's right.
Every moment. Now, whether we're intentional about the memories we're creating, it's a different story.
Yes.
If you look into your life and remember what were the most pleasant memories you've always had, sometimes the person responsible for those memories may not even be aware they were creating memories for you.
I read this quote because of what you're saying. And he said, the most impactful memories are those created when it is unexpected, when they're unexpected and unplanned.
Wow.
And I thought that was just phenomenal.
Wow.
Because it speaks to what you're saying.
Yeah, that's,
memories
the person may not even realize that they're creating memories. But sometimes, even though I agree with your quote, but also we have to be intentional about the memories we create.
Yes.
All right. As parents, if your children leave your home at they're 18, maybe you go to the university at 16, 17, would they miss home? Or would they be like, wow, man, I'm finally out of that chaotic environment?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
When your partner is leaving for work, are they feeling like, oh my word, I need to run back home? Or, oh my word, I need to stay away from home as longer as I can, legally possible. So, what are we saying? You have to be intentional by creating memories. Yeah. That's what makes us, life is lived in moments, really.
That's right.
That's what constitutes our human experience, our shared human experience. Is about the memories we've been able to create over a number of times. And the thing about memories is that people choose where they want to go. People go where they are celebrated, where people create memories that are pleasant for them, that they want to experience more of. And they try to move away from pain. Where people create memories that are unpleasant. So as you are responsible for your space, what can you do to create memories for your partner, for yourself, for your guests, for your children? That's what we're talking about today.
I think the first thing is we must realize that those are connecting points.
Yes.
Okay. So if we look at it, that's one way. I have to seize every moment to connect. So intentional about that. What's connection? What's the strength of connection you have with your spouse? What's the strength of connection you have with your children? In fact, what's the strength of connection with your parents? And that's one thing we would want to put forward today.
So somebody may be saying, you know what, many of the people around me have not caused me a lot of not created positive memories, but you should be a party to that. You should have a voice in that matter. You can't just say, oh, this person created. But what can you do going forward to create memories, create positive memories for yourself? All right. So even though other people have not created, maybe people have said things that are that are unwelcoming, that are harsh. But what can you do to create good memories for yourself? So while you're living with your mom, you didn't quite enjoy the experiences, what are you doing differently as a mom? If you're a mom, what are you doing differently as a sister? What are you doing differently as a colleague? How are you creating positive memories? Do people light up when you walk into the room? That's one of the way to measure
Yes.
whether you're creating the right memories. So seize every opportunity to connect with people. Why are we emphasizing this? One of the reasons why we emphasize this is because we are creatures of habits. Right. After a while, a habit is something you do without even thinking. It's by default. All right. After a while, you're just walking through the system. You're just being yourself. But if your best version is your present version, the version that creates unpleasant memory, you need to work on that. If you want to build a team that will collaborate, if you are thinking about your legacy, what do you want to be remembered for? Use every opportunity to connect.
Yes. I mean, as a family, we could explore going on vacation,
yes,
the holiday.
Yep.
With others. We could also, even as a family, explore reunions. Because there's some of us who haven't seen each other for a while.
Correct.
So yes,
Correct.
That would come in handy. Okay, so another thing we think is really important is celebrating milestones. What milestones did we celebrate through the year? Sometimes we just take them as one of those things, but we must be intentional about celebrating those. You know, that would also include little things like, okay, your first job, probably your son got his first job this year. You know, we need to be intentional about celebrating that. I like that you said it's what we're sharing is not just for this moment, for this season. Okay, we need to, you know, going forward, look at how we want to imbibe this in what we do. Celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, you know, those are moments that must not be wasted.
Fantastic to celebrate milestones. Milestones are, I mean, when people sit down and achieve something, many things goes into that. All right, there's a thought through, there's a planning, there's a patience part, there's a pushing part, there's a failure part, getting back. So when they eventually achieve something, it's something that we should scream about. Why? Because you want to reinforce certain behaviors. You want to reinforce certain behavior. You want to have a family of winners, not of losers. Losers don't mean that they fail, or that they gave up. That's what I mean by when people, you know, when you don't lose when you give up, when you fail, you lose when you give up, and you've thrown in the towel, and then you now become that person that's, you know, begin to moan. No, everybody that have done anything has failed one way or the other, but just that all of them do not stay there. All right, so one of the key ways you need to celebrate milestones. So when people come into your space, you know, don't begin to ask them questions that make them feel less, like, oh, they are not earning well, or they are not doing that job that they're supposed to. Oh, are you still working at, where are you now? You know those aunties that anytime you come around, oh, what are you doing now? Are you still hanging out on that? Are you still doing that job? Oh, okay, my son is doing, and they begin to do those comparisons. The reason is not because they want to share the good news of their son or their daughter. It's just because they want to put you down, to be like, no, my son is doing better than you. You should get your act together. No, that's not how to create pleasant memories. You have to be able to be intentional and create the things that people do well. What has your spouse done well this year?
Yes.
What has he done well?
Yes.
What has your wife done well?
Might be something as little as celebrating. You mentioned something in passing, positive behavior. You've been complaining about something, and there's been some, you know, adjustments. You've not seen the outcome you desire, but you've seen some changes. Why don't we celebrate those?
Celebrate those.
Yes.
Celebrate those. Why? Because whenever you celebrate, it gets repeated most times. All right. Because people want, you know, when you celebrate something, people tend to repeat those things regularly. All right. So talking about all that, you need to be able to point out specific milestones about your family. And it is something that God has done for your family.
Oh, yes.
Some of us are in places today that were dreams 5 years ago, 2 months ago, 3 years ago. But it's not normal to us. And we don't think it's something that we should celebrate. I mean, these are massive milestones. Financial milestones, investment milestones, relational. There are some people that, you know, got into your network, or some network that you got into. You should be able to celebrate some promotions this year. Celebrate those milestones.
Oh, yes.
Reinforce those positive experiences and memories.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about creating pleasant memories. Don't forget. So another way we think people can create pleasant memories will be to have meals together. You know, this is something that, you know, it's a tradition the fast pace, our busy schedules are beginning to make us lose.
Yeah.
So we must be intentional about creating this. I stumbled on a research when I was preparing for a conference, and in that research, it said a survey was carried out on 26,000 teenagers, and they found out that teenagers between 11 and 15, yes, for teenagers between 11 and 15, most of them said having those times at the table helped improve their emotional health. And for older teenagers, there was just this, they realized that their behavior improved. Behavioral problems improved. So as I thought about it, I was like, so what happened? It might just be that, at that time when we are at the table, we're sharing, we're passing values. Okay, we're talking about our experience as parents. You may not realize what you're doing in those moments. You're saying to them, oh, I had a tough day. This happened. This didn't quite go well, but this was how I managed it. So at that point, you're passing something.
Correct.
So imagine that those children had their emotional states improve. That was just so beautiful to see. And I thought, this is something we mustn't lose. We must cherish times at the table, having meals together. So I know it's something that is quite difficult for some families, especially depending on the kind of shift you run, the way your lives are planned. Okay, because sometimes, especially in the Western world, you see one person coming in, one person works at night, and the other has to be with the children in the daytime. So you just realize that mom and dad and the children don't eat together. So if that's the kind of arrangement you have to be intentional about having that day, that moment where we all sit at the table to have those meals. And this would really help. We noticed it helped even our son, when he was, there was a time he was really not wanting to eat. He was really fussy about food. And he would just sit with us at the table. And we noticed that from time to time, he would watch us eat. And he would look at the food, he would look at us, look at our mouth, watch the process of the food going in. And gradually he decided to, explore. And today he's doing great. And so it's something I think is brilliant.
And it's also an opportunity to reinforce good behaviors in your children. All right, so you can say what happened during the day, what happened. It's an opportunity to reinforce. And when you reinforce a behavior, the child is like, okay, this is what my mom wants me to do more. This is what my dad wants me to do more of. And sometimes it helps to reinforce some of those kind of positive behaviors. All right. So during mealtime, it's time for you to connect. All right. So like she said, even if it's not something you're unable to do every day, I mean, if it's Sunday, you can be doing it on Sunday. On Saturday, if you can flip it around and have family meetings where you can talk and just say, talk about what's happening in your own life, talk about the challenges, how you coped with the challenges, how we're able to overcome, talk about office politics, what you did to overcome it, talk about how you still maintain a positive attitude even though environment was toxic, talk about how you, when you disagree with someone, how you didn't raise your voice. That is how you begin to model these things. Honestly, there's no other way. Because before you close your eyes, open your eyes, those children are out of the house. They're out. All right. So I am an adult now. My parents don't ask me, what are you doing? But they've lost the opportunity. Now it's whatever they have done and what I'm doing for myself that is taking me far. So that is why I also want to point out the importance of emphasizing your relationship with God to your children. If you don't put those seeds there, nobody will do that work for you. And if there's any work they're going to do, they're going to put something contrary to what you want. Because anytime you leave a field untended, what happens? Weeds, all type of weeds will grow. I've never seen anywhere, I've never seen anywhere, just vacant. We've done not a farm, a land or anything vacant. And I just go there and just see a massive apple tree. Without somebody planting it, it just fell, it just blew. No, what I often see are all kind of weeds. You have to either use a deweeder to deweed them or to pull them out. Same thing for children. They're like, they're fresh, they're new. If you don't program what one of my mentors used to call it scripts, if you don't use the right scripts, if you don't show them the right examples, the right models, they will copy the models that are accessible. put across to them through entertainment or through media, whatever they're watching. Well, let's be intentional.
Okay, so creating pleasant memories. Another way we can create pleasant memories would be by sharing gifts.
Yes.
Some people would say, "Oh, but that's not my love language." But who doesn't like gifts?
I like that. Who doesn't like
Even if it's not the person's love language, it's just something. Especially when it's wrapped, and you're not expecting it, and it comes. It's really beautiful. So we can create pleasant memories by sharing gifts. Hey, parents, what have you bought for your children? It's Christmas.
It's an opportunity for you to share. Children, what have you bought for your parents?
Yes.
Because don't be in that mode. Yes, because most of us as children, while we were children, we're taught to collect. We're always thinking, what is daddy going to buy? What is that? What are you buying for that? It's not until you start the money, the pocket money that you get, the side hustle, things you are selling, what can you take from there to buy for your parent as well? It doesn't mean that you don't say, oh, my parents have everything. Look for something in their lives. If it's a pen, it's not about the gifts, it's about the thoughtfulness. You are differentiating yourself. I learned this from one of my, I think maybe I read a book or a mentor shared that with me, and I was trying to get access to a particular mentor, high profile mentor, everybody was coming at him, and the person said something: anytime you want to get into a network, don't think about what you're going to get. Think about what value you're going to add to the person. Awesome. So go there bearing gifts. It's automatically differentiates you from the pack. Because everybody comes at mom and dad, give me. But you be that child that'll be like, what can I give to mom? Differentiate yourself. Everybody's taking something from a mentor or somebody. You be that person that will differentiate yourself and say, how can I be of value? Everybody's taking from your partner. Oh, to me, everybody's calling. You be that person and say, what can I do to make her life, his life better? Differentiate yourself from the pack.
And just because you mentioned partner, I would say, why don't you give the gift of a massage?
Oh,
it's Christmas.
I'm feeling it already.
Are you craving one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. Okay, so the last one we'll be sharing for this would be entertainment.
Yes.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
I know it's been, sometimes we just go on and on and on. It is not good when people say, I can't stop. I can't rest. Don't let wearing the body out make you have to rest. That kind of rest is not fun. No, when you're trying to recover. Exactly. It's not fun.
Yes.
Okay, so we should have time to pull back, and then entertain ourselves. Entertain your children. Okay, it could be board games. That's entertainment. It could be watching a movie together. Because sometimes parents also forget that in the course of watching a movie, you're passing on values. Because there are times you have to pause and explain what just happened.
Yes.
You're watching with your child. So that's a moment. Don't lose it.
That's a moment. Let's not lose that. Let's emphasize that. That's very, very important, to create time for entertainment, to unwind, to relax, to just chill. You need to chill. Sometimes we sleep, but our body doesn't register that we've slept. Yes. Why? Because while you're sleeping, you're thinking about the next thing you need to do, next thing you need to do, next thing you need to do. But deliberately decide. I did that yesterday. I decided that I'm resting, and I shut down. I didn't do anything in terms of work. I just slept and rested. It's registered. I'm going to do it again. Why? Because I made up my mind. I'm not going to this new year stressed. I'm going to de-stress,
with the bang.
Detox, so that I will go a better version of myself. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so those are some of the points we've touched on. If you have other points you think we need to know about, we would like to hear from you. Please leave them in the comment section. If you think you've liked this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up.
Yes.
And then make sure you enjoy yourselves. Have good family time together, and we will see you on the next one. You want to say something?
We love you guys. Yeah. It's been a joy of our life bringing out videos almost every week. All right, 52 weeks in a year, doing it and coming up. So you guys give us access questions that help us form new topics. Yeah. You guys help us to share the messages that make it, because what's the point of making this video if it's not, people are not learning from them? So you guys come on board, share. We really want to appreciate every one of you that leave comments, that like, and that share. It helps our messages go.
And those who come back to us later to say, so, to make some remarks. much. We
Yes,
appreciate that.
we really, really appreciate
Yes.
that. So thank you.
Thank you. See you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.